Hello, hello, everybody. It's me. I'm here. I'm here. It is, what day is it? Thursday. And it is 2 o'clock Central Time. Ready to go live. I'm going to create a new book today, and I'm going to use some chipboard to do it. So I had a little slow system trying to get connected with you guys. So sorry about that. Just was a little day. So I'm still happy to have you here. If you're coming on board, please make sure that you say hello in the comments. I really do appreciate when you guys do that. My name is Grace. I have a creative business called The Comfy Nest with Grace. You can shop my site at thecomfynestwithgrace.com for craft supplies, rice papers, napkins, glues, and adhesives, as well as my membership group. I am live quite often on Facebook, but most lately, or a lot lately, I've been going live as well on YouTube to split my time between the two and love up on both audiences. So thank you for being here. Make sure that you say hello. I would love to hear from you. I'm going to just adjust some lighting here because I've told you before, you guys, this light literally blinds me when it's on, but it makes it really nice for you to be able to see the table. So there you have it. That's what we're going to do. Hey, Nat, how are you? Thanks for being here. Thanks for saying hello in the comments. There's Jana. Hello, Miss Jana. Welcome, welcome. You guys, it's kind of gloomy here today. And I have a neighbor who must be doing some kind of work out in the yard because it's been rather loud. Just someone's banging away out in their yard. I don't know what they're working on, but it's pretty loud all day. And I keep thinking that someone's knocking on the door, and that's not what's happening. But I keep hearing this banging, and it's throwing me off a little bit. Not gonna lie, it's throwing me off. I could not find these tools the other day, but I found them. I found them. And so now I'm going to try to get them out of here so I can use. There's one in particular that I want. It's not that one. Oh, where are you, little T? I'm looking. There's the one that's shaped like a T. Here it is. It's right in front. I think this is the wrong pouch for this stuff because it doesn't want to come out real easy. That's the one that I think I want. Okay. So I think I'm going to make a book that's 5 by 8. I may even go, I have this one. I think this one is 12 by 6. Let's check to be sure. And I really do, well, it's 11 and a half by 6. And I really love the tall size of it. This is the one that we've been doing the butterfly fairies in. I just started filling this with butterfly fairies, so there really aren't, look at how many pages need to be done yet. Oh, I cut her out the other day. She's going to be awesome because it really looks like she's looking at some wings. I was in a meeting and can't just sit there and not do anything. So I had to just start some fussy cutting for some of these people for inside this one. I love the long and the skinnies. So do you like long and skinny journals? And if you do, what is the size that you go with? I'm going to get out my big honkin' cutter because I have pretty thick chipboard here. It's really thick, and so I'm going to use the big one. We're getting out the big one. I'm going to open it up, and this will help me easily and in a very straight way cut this. I am thinking 5 by 8, although now that I say it, maybe we'll do 5 by 11 would just be about that size. Let's do 5 by 10 just for the sake of it. Let's just do 5 by 10 and see what we get. Let's try that. I need more room on my table, folks. Hey, Janet, how are you, friend? Hey, Barb, what's happening, girl? It's 73 and sunny. Oh my gosh, it is not 73 here. It's not 73. I don't even know that it's 60. You guys, I woke up with a sore throat this morning, so if I'm a little off, it's not you, it's me. I woke up with a sore throat, I have a headache, and I just feel like something nasty's coming on. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I'm getting sick. Thankfully, we're virtual, so I can't get any of you sick, but I'm really not happy about that. Okay, we're going to go 10 inches for the height. So I need 2 panels that are 10 inches tall, and then we'll cut them 5 inches wide. So let's start with that. I do like this cutting machine. It's to cut thicker things or more pages at once, and it has a self sharpening blade, and I love this cover that's not connected to the blade. It just allows me to hold that in there really nicely. It just allows me to be really accurate with the cuts. Okay, so that is 10 inches tall, and now I want 2 of them 5 inches wide, so I can get 2 5-inchers out of this one panel. I'm trying to be really precise here. We're going tall and skinny with this book. I finished a few books lately, surprisingly. Look at, that's going to be a great size right there. I'm liking that. I finished a great book. I finished a couple of great books, Altered book and a junk journal. So I was like, man, I think it's time to start a new book. So here we go. And actually, okay, so this will be front, back, or back front, doesn't matter. And then I need a panel for the middle. How wide do I want to go? Well, you can use this. It's the right height. It's 10. I don't think I need it quite this wide. It's got to be 2 inches. Yeah, I don't need it to be 2 inches. If I want to put in there, well, it's nice and thick. Maybe if I did 2 inches, let me do some math here. Hang tight, girls. 1, 2, 3. I could easily get 3 signatures in here if I wanted to do 2 inches wide, but that's going to be a really wide book like that. I'm not sure that I want it that wide. If I did 1.5 inches to here, I could still fit 3 in there, but I might just do, let's see something here. I might do 5 I could do 5 small signatures in there. That would look really cool on the side if I left the sewing exposed. Let's do 1.5 inches and see what we think of that cut. We're going to cut 1/2 inch off. So why does it say 2.5? Oh yeah, I gotta go this way more. It's really narrow, so actually this is a little bit challenging because there's not a whole lot of paper here to hold on to. So I gotta get it lined up on this line. And if it's helpful to you, you could always do this. Like get this lined up. Oh, this is kind of in the way, but if we get this lined up at 1.5 would be here, then I know where I need to line up my paper. It just helps me. I feel like it helps me control that paper a little more. All right, let's see. I'm afraid to let it go because I'm afraid it's going to get budged on me. And it did just a little bit. I mean, how precise do you want to be? That's the question. I'm usually not very good at precision. And I'm the girl who usually wings it. So I'm the wing it girl. Oh boy. Come on, Gracie Grew. There we go. 1/2 inch off, easy breezy, lemon squeezy. This should be 1.5 inches if I did it right. Yes, it is. So that'll be the base for our book. We're going to cover it. We're going to work on the cover today. And when I say work on the cover, I'm just going to assemble the cover. I'm not going to decorate it. I usually save the decorating until the last thing. So we'll save that to last, but we can at least get the book cover covered. Get the shell of the book put together. All right, that was one piece of chipboard, 12 by 12 chipboard. I sell this in packs of 10 in the shop if anyone's interested. And the thing with this is you get to customize exactly the size you want. It is a little bit thicker, I would say, than most food storage boxes. So in terms of thickness. Hey, Karen. Hey, Debbie. I see you. Welcome, welcome. Mary's here. Hey, Denise and Kimberly and Tamara. Look at all you girls. Oh man, alive. I forgot my water, you guys. I am incredibly thirsty. Let me just see if I have like a hard candy or something. Good gravy. I can't afford to get sick, you guys. Lena has a football game tomorrow. It's out of town and I want to go. I don't want to be sick. No sirree, Bob. All right. I picked out a bunch of papers. I'm thinking this for the cover, though it's a little thicker than I would prefer. I really do like plain or regular weight paper, not cardstock. This is a gorgeous set that one of you sent me. This could be really fun to put inside the book, maybe. Not sure. I grabbed it because I love it. Could be nice to use. I also grabbed, I would like to have a combination of papers that are decorative, like the ones I just showed you, and then maybe some plain papers. Like these are double-sided lace coffee stained. Those, I think, even though they have a pattern, they're a little more plain. Here, I just have extras of this sitting around. Now that I went 10 inches, hold on. Now that I went 10 inches, I'm going to have to stick with 12 by 12 paper, aren't I? If I go like this, which is what I would normally do for the insides of my books, this is, it's not bad. It's 8.5 inches long, of course, but then on this side, it's only, well, it's 5 inches wide. So it's the right size this way, but it would be short for the book. So I'm going to just stick to 12 by 12 papers. I mean, I could throw in a few of these size, but not all of them are going to be that size. I just have a bunch of papers here that I had on hand that it would be good to start using up some of these. And they're neutral. They can be decorated on. Some of them have patterns. I really like when they're double-sided, when, you know, one side is not white, when they are colored on both sides. And what's in here? I don't even know. Oh, this is rice paper. That would work too. Okay. All right. Well, we'll figure out the insides in a minute, but those are the pages that I picked out thinking I could use them inside this book. And then this for the outside. Now, for sizing, we need to make sure that this, it's not going to work. Uh-oh, my papers fell off my chair. That's okay. We'll deal with that later. It's not going to fit. It's too, I need this paper to wrap around. And I suppose like I have like a 1/4 inch on either side, left and right. So what I could do is cover each one of these things separately and then connect them, or cover the front and back with the same thing and put something different in the middle. We have a bunch of different options here, but I've got to get it to the point where I can cover all of this. You could use fabric, which I do like to do, except, you know, I don't have my sewing machine. It's a complete bummer, right? Like no sewing machine, that doesn't help me. Let's do this. Let's cut this. We're going to cut this down a little further because I really want to cover it with that paper. Let's cut this down to 1 inch. Oh, I don't have anything to put it against. Look, to cut it at 1 inch. All right, there's one flaw with that one. Can I do it with this one? It's really thick, girls. I don't know. Let's see if we can cut this with a regular cutter. There's 1 inch right there. I think, yes, that's 1 inch. Oh yeah, you might have to do it a couple of times. This is going to give us a 1/4 inch on either side more to work with. And now, see, now we have enough probably to fold that over. I do like to leave just a little bit of a gap here and here just so you can fold it easily. Now, this tool is meant to make sure that you stay really straight when you're piecing these together, but this gap for me is too big. Note to self, if you ever buy one of these tools, really pay attention to the gap, how wide this gap is, because this gap for me, it's too big, it's too loose. I don't like the feel of that in my book. I would like it to be about half that. So, you know, like more of a 1/16 of an inch gap. That's just my personal preference. So something like that. Okay, so we're gonna get this down on here. I don't mind that these are a little bit longer than these are, so we're just gonna cover it that way. I probably should figure out my center point. It'll make it easier for me to stay centered. So let's do this. All right, I put an apron on earlier because I've been painting today. Project for the Craft Therapy Club. I got to take it off because I'm getting too warm. Hey, Mary Lanovic. I see you, darling. Who's creating today? What are you up to? What are you creating? What are you working on? Would love to hear. Chit chat with me. Yes, Tamara, I'm live. I'm live. Is this the live or Memorex? Kim, I don't know what that means, honey. That question, Memorex. I don't know what that means. Try again. I'll run and get water, Debbie. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I'll make it through. Okay, see the little finger crease. You can see a little crease here, a little divot there. That's going to help me know that this is going to go right in the middle. Like we want this smack dab in the middle of that when we glue it down. And then we're going to place these equally distant on either side. And hopefully we're going to have enough paper on either side to cover this all up with. So that's what we're going to go with. I'm going to use both glue, 2 glues. I'm going to use the stick because it's awesome. And I'm going to use a little liquid glue to make sure it really stays in place. I've been trying to use up this little bottle. Making my first handmade journal this week. Going to have a canvas cover. My first time for hand painting on canvas that wasn't stenciled. 2. Lots of firsts for this old girl. Jana, get after it, friend. I'm so excited for you. I love to hear when you guys, when you guys are exploring new things. Get ready for a bang here. Hold on. That paper fell all over the floor. I'll pick it up later. I'm not going to worry about it. Kind of need a chair, though. I'm just exhausted, you guys. Exhausted. If I could, I should get a nap in today. It might really do me some good because I have this lingering headache and a bit of a sore throat. Never fun. Nope, nope, nope. All right. We're going to wing it. I'm going to try to get, equally distant top and bottom. I don't really feel a need to measure. It doesn't matter to me if it's like super perfect. You could always use, this is a quilting ruler. You could always use a big ruler. That's the way everything's going to be. It's just keep falling all over the place on me. To check to see, like are you super straight, you would use, these clear rulers are perfect for this because you would use the line that lines up with the edge of your page, right here, the edge of your sheet of paper, to make sure that you are vertically straight. These quilting tools are so perfect for this. You've got lines all the way through on all of these measurements. So if I follow through and make sure that we're on that. Wait, I'm off somehow. Hold on, girls. It's a good thing my glue isn't dry because I can still wiggle this piece before I put it in place. So let's see. We want to be, well, if I put it at the 1/2 inch mark, that makes it easier to see. And it shows you exactly where you're not straight. You can line that up there. This tool is meant to kind of do the same thing, but I don't like how big that gap is, so I'm not going to use that tool today. All right, I think that would be it. So I'm going to commit to that and go push it right down in there. Okay, now for the next 2 parts, we're just going to eyeball it, and we're going to leave just the tiniest little gap there. You can see it on screen because it's got that nice bright white. We're going to leave that tiniest little gap there so that we make sure we can fold it easily. This set of bookmaking tools, where are the rest of them? I think I buried them underneath all this other stuff. Hang tight. Let's see if I can find them. This just fell off the wall. I have this big ruler on the wall with a tack, and it just came down off the wall. So that's lovely. Also comes with this. So here, again, these are just helping you. They're like carpenter's tools. They're just helping you to make sure that you keep all your parts straight. They're just a variety of tools to help you keep straight. Okay. You don't have to have them. I have been making books for a long time without those kinds of tools. When I saw them though, I was like, hey, those are really fun. I'm gonna pick some up and see if they're helpful to me. Honestly, I don't think you need them. If you're trying to save money, use your money on buying pretty paper. You'll definitely get a use out of that. Or glue. You'll always need more glue, for sure. Because glue is something we run out of. All right, here we go. We're gonna double up here. That's strangely satisfying. Doing that. Oh, that's funny. Okay. You're glad you're not the only one with what, Kim? Let's see. Old TV ad when you couldn't tell if it was live or pre-recorded. You can tell how old I am now. Oh gosh. That's funny, Kim. It's okay. Girl, it's okay. We're all together in this getting older part. Thank God. Like I always say, thanks be to God, we all got older today, right? I'm not laying it down just yet. If you wanted to use your tool, I'm going to slip it in there. And then I'm going to be able to push the paper up against the edge of that tool to make sure that I'm straight, lined up properly. And then we can press down. Again, not necessary, just kind of handy. That's going to be a pretty cover. And it's okay. There's pattern here. They're like old postcards with, like you can see the little postage stamp there. But it's got a pattern, it's got some color, but it's not so distinctive that it's a focal point. I'll easily be able to put a focal point over that and make it look real pretty, right? So that's the nice thing about papers like that have a really small, indistinguishable pattern on them. They're great for covers. They're great for pages that you want to decorate further. Sometimes when I see digital kits, actually that's a turnoff for me, to be truthful with you. If I'm looking for a digital junk journal kit, especially if I, like I want to do a theme and I'm looking for a digital junk journal kit on Etsy, if the kit pages have very big, distinct, I'm going to show you an example. If they have very big, distinct designs on the pages. Oh, good gravy. I said I'm going to give you an example and then I can't find. Girlfriends, please just have some patience with me because, again, I'm not even thinking clearly. Okay, this book packet that I showed you. Let's get this on here so I don't get glue anywhere, and then I'm going to show you what I mean. I do not like digital kits where the pages have big focal points on them. I want the pages to be like the cover of this book that I'm making, where there is some color, there is some design, but it's not distinguishable so that I can create whatever focal point I want on it. I want to have the freedom to create that focal point. I don't mind if a couple of pages here and there are like that, but I don't want the bulk of them to be like that. Okay, here, I can't, it's not long enough to go all the way down the line here. So we're going to wing it, but you could take something straight, anything with a straight edge, and put it against here using these two as my foundation for how straight I want to be here. Then I can push this piece up against that straight edge ruler or piece of paper. Like this is a thick, so it's easy to use. You just want something that you can push it up against to make sure that they're evenly straight all the way across. And I've done it before where one thing is higher than the other and then your book is all wonky. I mean, wonky is the name of my game, right? Okay, see what we got. Now, these are all going to get folded over. And if I start on the bottom, I want to stick with the bottom. If I start on the sides, I want to do side, side, then top and bottom. So don't go 1, 2, 3, 4. Do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it'll help keep you straight. Someone's knocking, and I think it's the neighbor again. The other thing is we need to cut this. So truly, we could probably cut this down to make it easier to get this straight angle. We could cut these down a tish, a 1/4 inch or something, just to make it a little easier for ourselves. Not necessary, but doesn't hurt anything. Now they're all a little more alike. Not exactly, but a little more. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. This is gorgeous paper. Okay, this has a huge focal point on it. So if I've seen digital kits where both sides of the piece of paper that you're folding in half to put in the book to make signatures has this huge focal point on it, and I don't love that. One side I don't mind. This is gorgeous, isn't it? Dang. All right, if we took this, look at how beautiful that is. If we took this and folded it in half, do you see what I'm saying? This is good because this I could decorate. It still has color, still has something pretty on it, but I can create the focal point. This already has a focal point. I don't want to cover that up with anything. It's so beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you see digital kits where all of the pages have this really big focal point on them. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, where's my straightening tool? I'm going to push the paper up. That's where I'm going to need to fold it. We still need to cut the corners. There's a tool for this too, but you honestly don't need it. The quilting rulers do double duty. Aren't they the best, Tamara? They're a really good investment, those see-through rulers. Okay, but Kim, I still don't know what you mean by that Memorex. I don't know what that means. Someone do explain. And she's saying, I'm glad I'm not the only one who knew what that was. So somebody explain it to us. Hey, Diana. Hello, hello, Diana. Okay, I do see that there are some people who cut in here as well. And I think it's just about, I don't really do it, but some people cut here at the point where the fold is. They do cut like that just to give it less resistance on the fold. So you can if you want to. I actually never have done that. I just thought, let's try it just to show you what I'm talking about. I'm just cutting it in a triangle at the place where the fold is. That one I did not cut down enough. I kind of pull on it. It's just to get rid of a little bit of extra bulk. When you're making envelopes, you generally do the same thing. So now when we fold this and then we make this bend, it's going to be real clear and easy. Okay, back to the glue stick. I'm going to start with the edges. I need something underneath my table to catch the glue because I'm going to glue like crazy on here. We're going to glue a whole lot, and I'm going to go, I want to make sure I hit the edges so that goes over. It'll go over on this paper instead of on my table, which is nice. I'm going to add some liquid glue because we really don't want to chance this coming apart. I usually start from the middle and go out on either side toward the end. So I don't know why. I just feel like I can be, if I have any wonkiness, I can fix it better. If you start on one end and go to the other end and you're wonky, I think it's harder to fix. So I usually do it that way. And I want to make sure that this crease is really strong and established. Okay, I'm going to go on the other side now over here. Same thing. Lots of glue. Whoops. I just can't hold on to anything today. Okay, starting in the middle. Beautiful. Looks good. Okay. Next one up. I'm going to go to the edges. Top and bottom now. Same process. 2 types of glue. You're going to fold it and then use like your bone folder or something dull, but you know, straight and firm that can help you fold this down onto that cardboard, that cardstock. So I like to use this tool, but you can use anything. I've never done it that way with those little creases. I don't know that it's easier or not. I don't know. I've never, and I think the idea is to put less pressure on that fold, like I told you. But I don't really do it, so not an issue for me. Hasn't been in the past. I think I'm squeezing so hard, I'm squeezing that glue right out of there. I've got a crease there that doesn't make sense. There we go. Boy, one of these glues, I think it's this Tombow one. It's so sticky, you guys. Hey, Gia. How are you, darling? I love a junk journal, too. Okay, Kim says, I couldn't think of an easy way to explain that. Great to vote paper and signatures. Okay, hold on. What? It was an old TV ad. Is it Live or Memorex? I'm going to have to Google it. I don't know. I don't remember that being a TV ad. Okay, one more side. It's got glue all over it, so we're going to put it in the garbage. Lennon's been working pretty hard on college applications and now scholarship applications. He told me to call the college and I forgot. Oh, good gravy. I got to do that before. Don't let me forget, girls. When we hang it up here and I'm saying goodbye, someone just shout out in the comments, don't forget to call the college. I got to call the college and get, he needs his college transcripts because he's been taking college classes sent to the schools that the colleges that he's applying to so that they can check for transferability of those courses. And he asked me to do that for him today while he was at school, and I haven't done it yet. Please don't let me forget. He will be so disappointed in me if I forget. He's been very, very responsible lately, getting all his things done, like his applications in and requesting that his ACT scores be sent where they need to go. He's been very, very responsible. So I can't be the one to forget to do my duties. All right, right here, I have a little bubble. Not a bubble, but like it didn't glue down all the way. So let's just check and see, do we need to reinforce? Right, easy. So I like this size. I'm going to take this tool and just run it in here to make sure there's no glue. Kind of going to hold that up from bending, and then we're going to do a nice solid bend there. And then solid bend on this side. That will be a really pretty book. I did not decide what to put on the insides. actually, girls, this is skinny enough. I could use washi tape to cover this, but first, before I decide on that, I better pick a paper for the insides. This is felt on the bottom. That's felt, and that is amazingly beautiful. It doesn't quite match, but it is very pretty. I'm gonna find something different. Okay, this whole card stack that somebody sent me, one of you, thank you, whoever sent it to me. I don't remember who it was. Absolutely gorgeous. It's all thick cardstock though, so I don't want to use that. I know I don't want to use that. I want something, I like to work on the cover with thin materials, not thick. So hold tight while I grab the papers that I have. The outside paper for this came from this stack, so if I pick something from in here, it's going to match real well. My table cover is doing something funky here. Why is that bubbled up like that? I got a bubble right here in the table cover. That's driving me crazy. Driving me batty. I really like this floral one. Where is it? The green floral. That's really pretty too. Oh, I like that one a lot. I was going to look for this one. If you see one that you love, shout it out. Where's the green base? I really like that one a lot. It's very pretty. Again, it has a, that one's gorgeous. It has a color and it has a pattern, but that's what I used on the cover. It has a color, has a pattern, but it's not so bold that you can't cover it up with something else. That is gorgeous. Oh, I love it. Isn't that beautiful? So we need 10 inches, and then we got to cut it a variety of widths. We know it needs to be 10 inches tall. Okay, Debbie's trying to explain. Let's see. Memorex made blank videos and cassette tapes to record TV and music back in the day. Oh, gotcha. Don't let me forget, Kimberly. Look at how beautiful this is. Look at that pattern right there. Man. Okay, if I go this way, the butterfly is here, and that would make the butterfly right side up, right? So that would mean I would want to cut it 10 inches this way. And I'm going to cut 10 inches off. I'm going to cut the extra, the 2 inches off the top, so that I keep the butterfly and I keep that really pretty pattern I like. So that's what is going. Now this is what's staying. So I kept my butterfly. It's the right way. Now, this, didn't I cut that down to what? What was it? I had to cut it further. It's a 1-inch piece. So I need a 1-inch piece. However, sometimes I do like to use a different color or a different paper here to distinguish the front from the middle. For sure, these two panels, I want to cut this paper slightly smaller. So I'm going to cut them 4 3/4. So I need 2 4 3/4 tall panels. I really want that butterfly. Let's see. 4 3/4 isn't very much. Am I going to get it? Yeah, I'll be able to keep that butterfly if I cut it that way. Whoops, slid it. That'll go on the front or the back. And then we need one more of those. 4 3/4. And then let's decide, maybe I'll use a fabric in the middle. Sometimes it's nice to have something a little different in the middle. That's where I said I could also use a washi tape there. I'm going to look up at my washi tape and see what I have. I would want it to coordinate color-wise. I don't think I'd want it to be too far off. And I don't think I have something that color. that makes any sense. Hold on, I'm looking, girls. I have some really pretty florals. That would be too much. Like, I don't want a floral. These are stamps, aren't they? Like, that kind of matches. It's a little bit more orange than I would like, but... And you can design it however you want. You can put this paper underneath the washi tape, holding it all together. We could do just like that. That might be cool. Let's do that. I'm gonna use up some washi tape. So that means we're gonna stick these down first. Okay. Same thing, glue stick and some. It was such good quality, you couldn't tell the difference. Missy, you're a good representative for the ad. That's a good explanation. Now, I'm not trying to go off the edge here. I want those corners to be nice and secured. You can see, when you hold it up, you can see the glue, where you've hit and where you've missed. I mean, it's really not hard to see. Oh, butterfly. Okay. So we have to decide something's got to be the front and something's got to be the back. Does it matter? I think I'll have this be the front and this be the back. So that means that's the top. I've been known to put things together wrong. I forgot to cut it height-wise, but I think it'll be okay. I'm going to just match it right up. I usually cut it just a tish shorter. I forgot to do that, but that's okay. Because I kind of like it to have that little space right there all the way around. So it just has it on this one edge, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this side. This one will go here. There's a butterfly there, so I know what, and there's one right there. So then I'll know what's up, what's down. Anybody have weekend plans? Are the pumpkin patches open near you? They are by us. They're open. They have been for a couple of weeks. I'm really eager this year. I want to get to the pumpkin patch. My children do not want to go with me. We're beyond the days when I used to just say, all right, kids, load up the car. We're going to the pumpkin patch today. These kids, they have their own agenda for the day. They have plans with friends or to do homework, or Landon has quite a few chores to do in terms of deer hunting with setting up. He has like deer cameras and his stand, and he checks on those almost daily, I think. So it's not as easy as just saying this is what we're doing today, kids. They have plans of their own. Okay, so far so good. I've got some glue on here from something else. It's not hugely tacky, but it's just a little bit. This is turning out so beautiful. Now, what do you think about this in the middle? Is it too different? Is it too weird? Is it not matchy-matchy enough? I would love to know what you think. It's the right colors. I think it could be really visually interesting. And truthfully, most of this is going to get covered up with the signature pages. The other option is to just use, I think I have a scrap of fabric that's about that right size. Yes. Oh, Christy. Hi, friend. Yes, thank you for saying that. Thanks for reminding everybody. Make sure to like the live. Yeah, it helps us so much, you guys. I am so close over here on YouTube. Well, closer than I've ever been. I'm not there yet. I had to go grab, my fabric was on the other side of the room. I'm not there yet. I need about 700 watch hours. That sounds like a lot, right? It is a lot, but out of 3,000 watch hours, I need 7,000 more to kind of hit the next level of health and eligibility for monetization over here on YouTube, because I don't get any income from YouTube. Now that's really pretty and it's nice and soft. I think I'm going to do this. And I think I'll do it like 1.5 inches. I already made up my own mind. Okay, so I'm going to go at about 1.5 inches. That might have been more, might be 2 inches. But I need to cover all that brown up, and I like to go over just a little bit. I don't want it to be exactly the same size. Right? And then up here, I guess I'm just going to cut it across to make sure I get what I need. Like that. That'll be very pretty. Very soft and pretty. Yeah, so coming over here and sharing more content, more ideas, more inspiration with the audience over on Facebook. I hope that I'm meeting new people over on on YouTube. And anybody who's here, you're also obviously welcome to hang out with us over on Facebook. But I'm happy to do it. I'm really happy to make connections over here and to hang out with you guys over here. It is so much healthier for our businesses to not rely only on one source of connecting with you, because sometimes things go wonky. I bet you could name off some of the folks who we know and love, some of the creatives over on Facebook who have had some trouble with content at some points, like being shut down or not having access to their pages, right? You probably could name a few. Okay, I'm going to be doing this next part. I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac, Fabri-Fix, and hope that it doesn't, where do I want that? One side is super fringy and the other side's kind of straight. I think I'll put the super fringy side on the front. So I'm going to add some of this. I'm hoping that it's not going to leave any marks on this when it goes through to the other side of the fabric. It shouldn't. But I've had weird things happening, like that red paper left a mark, and there was no reason for that thick red paper. It kind of absorbed the glue, and where the glue was, it left marks, which is strange. Now, I've already used, you saw me use the glue stick. I'm also going to back it up with some fabric glue because we want to make sure this stays in place. So the nozzle, because it has glue all over it, gets stuck on the fabric, and then the fabric wants to come up with the nozzle when I pick it up. I don't want clumps. I'm trying to spread it out a little bit. There we go. Yeah, have you guys known anybody over there? Thankfully, Christy over at Funky Junk Inspiration, you haven't had any trouble, have you, Christy? It's no fun, man. It it's like literally heartbreaking when I had that, I think it was 3 or 4 months where I couldn't connect with any of you. Man, it's like, and it's helpless. Like you have absolutely no control over it. And that was before I really had a good email system set up. I mean, I had some people on email, but not as established as I do now. So that was the other thing. I mean, if you don't have your folks' email addresses, it's just another missing link and being able to stay connected with everybody. That is so pretty, you guys. I really want to make sure that's nice and flat. I may want to use that on here as well eventually. I'm not going to do it now. I think I'll do the signatures first. Maybe I'll end up covering, I like an exposed spine, but maybe for this one I'll end up covering that spine. It's a little longer than it needs to be. Just a tish, that fabric, so I'm going to cut that back. Same thing here. I just have that little bit sticking out right there that we're going to cut off. It's going to keep fraying, but I'm good with that because, again, it's a junk journal, so it's meant to be using up what you have instead of buying new stuff. So I'm good with things fraying. All right, so next thing to do will be, I'm not going to worry about, I don't generally decorate the outside cover until the end because I like to see how the book is going to come along. So for me, personally, the next thing I like to do is pick the signature pages. So let's spend a little time looking through what we have and deciding what we want this vibe of this book to be. I have some glue coming out of my bottle here. I better cover it up. There. Oh, there's my tack. It went in my little glue box. My tack for my ruler. I have just a few of my basic rulers hanging on the wall right next to me, and that one, the tack came out of the wall. But I'm so fancy I use a tack, girls. That's about my skill level when it comes to putting things in the wall. Okay, what do you think so far? Very pretty, right? Well, it's already been an hour. Let's or like 15 minutes. Let's look at some of the papers. Let me put these things aside. I don't want to lose them. I got to keep them in the container with the rest of them. And then let's look at some of the papers and kind of figure out what we're doing here. A lot of them fell on the floor. It's tight while I crouch down and get them all. All right. I have a lot of coffee stain papers. It's very thin. You're not going to put a whole lot on these pages, obviously, because they're so thin and fragile. But they can make for some, first of all, the texture and the crunch of them I love. But if you want to be heavy in decorating the pages, you want to avoid using those. These are just papers I had on hand. And like I said, if I take these and fold them in half this way, they're going to be short because I went with a tall book. If I go this way, which I could cut it down to 10 inches. Then they're going to be short this way. And neither one of those things are wrong. It just means that if I want pages that are fully in line with the cover of the book, I need bigger pages, which means I need 12 by 12s for the most part. These 8.5 by 11s aren't going to cut it. Although, like, I don't like that color with that book anyway. I just want to flip through some of these things that I have. See if there's anything in here that I wouldn't mind using. Now those were cardstock. This is regular weight. But again, cardstock. Nope, I'm not using any of those. I purchased this paper that has lines on one side and this gorgeous design on the other. So when I fold this in half, though, to put in this book, because I went with the tall and skinny, you can see how it's going to just fall short. It's not a problem. It's just something you have to consider. We'd have to be like pulling this apart, taking off part of this edge, and then realizing that it's going to be a little short. I actually really like that paper, especially because it has a line on the inside. So we'll use one of those. It fell on the floor, so now I feel like I gotta reorganize everything. Okay, from this book has this gorgeous paper. It's really vibrant colors, which doesn't actually match. This has very muted colors. See the difference in the tones? But let's just flip through and see if there's anything like this would really match, it seems. Come on out of here. It's cardstock though. It's white on one side. So the cardstock helps for if you want to build stuff on this page. It's really going to be able to handle it because it's nice and thick. If I fold it like this, it's going to be too wide. So I got to cut something off of it. Remember, the cover is, what did I say? This was 5 inch. So it needs to be like 4 3/4 when I fold it, right? But if I do that, then I'm going to lose this rose somehow. I don't want to fold it right in the middle and just, I suppose that could be the way the page looks. Let me think here. I got to do some math. So 9.5, right? I would need it to be 9.5 by 10. So I could cut it easily. I would cut this top part off. And then for the fold, I need it to end up, well, 4 3/4, I think. Let's double check. 5 inches is right to the edge. And I don't normally like my pages to go right to the edge. I like them to come on a little bit. So 4 3/4. That makes 8, 9.5 inches is what you would need this to be, 9.5 inches wide. Yeah. I could do it right in the middle, or I could cut it cut it down to 9.5, and then this would be more on one side than the other. So let me show you. 9.5. Now it's not in the center, it's more to the right. So when I fold this in half, I should score it. It would make it so much easier. It's a really thick cardstock. So there's the center line. You score it. It's just going to make it easier if you can get the score to go through. So perfect, right? It's not total flower on one full half of it or on the other half. It's just kind of a little bit on each page, and that will be so pretty in there. Oh, is it still too wide? Oh, it's still too long. I didn't cut enough. Was I supposed to cut 9 3/4? Let me cut a 1/4 inch off both sides. I didn't cut it the right size, girls. Because now I have my center fold. It's where it's going to be. There we go. Now it just fits. I must need to cut it 9 3/4. No, that's 10. Girlfriend, that's 10. Or 9 3/4 would work. But that's cut at 10. 10 by 10. Okay, this will go here. Let's get this one cut down. I need it to be 5 inches, so I'm gonna just cut off. Let's get that established and then just cut off any of the excess so that this can fit in there nicely. And that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna start going through our papers and pulling papers that we think we want to put in here. Now this one, completely white on this side, you have two options. You can sew it into the book and then decorate that, but I think what I'm going to end up doing is stamping or painting something on this side before I sew it in. I just find that to be easier to do. So now let me look through our 2 book stacks and see if there are any other pages that we absolutely want in this book. That's fabulous. That is all sparkly. It's very sweet and girly. That's a pretty page. It's very yellow though. I don't think I want anything that. Then we have yellow, green. This paper pack is so, the colors are just so bold. This is already cut down a bit. It was used for something. Okay, nothing from there. Let's go to the paper stack that matched the cover, because this is where we're going to get all our coordinating papers. Let's pick out a few from here. Now that's what I used on the inside cover. That one goes really well. It's a great way to use up your papers, girls. That could be one. That's Gorge. That could be one. If it doesn't strike me, I just keep going. That's the cover. Nah. I kind of keep these off to the side so I can see what I'm picking. I don't know. That's a lot of pink. Let's use this one. It's different. I don't want a map. I really liked that one. I just really love that paper. Don't want the bricks. More pink. This paisley one is pretty cool. All right, we have a lot of pages actually. So we're going to cut all of these down. Let's just see if we need to fussy cut, meaning is one way the top and bottom. Like, does it matter to you? Like if there's a butterfly or something that you might want facing a certain direction. Okay, so I'm going to cut these all. Let's see if I can do it all at once. I'm going to go 10 inches. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all of this at once. It's a lot. Sometimes what I'll do, like I know I got through the first couple. Let's pull those off then. There we go. Now they're all 10 inches tall. I can either do 10 or 9 3/4 or anywhere in between there, really. I usually don't like my pages to be right at the same stage as the cover. So I'm going to go a little shorter with these. Let's go 9 3/4. Whoops. Okay. Junk journals, things don't need to be perfection. And on this one, now all of these pages, they're white on one side and colored on the other side. So all of these pages, before I put them in the book, we're going to do something to the back of these. Wait. Uh-oh. What did I do? Did I cut? I cut the wrong side. Oh, that's correct. That will work. Why did I think I screwed that up? Yeah, that will work. What did I do? Why, this one then is the wrong size. This one I cut a little bigger. Gracie Grew, get it together. Yeah, this is 11. This is, I didn't cut this one yet. That's the problem. 10 by 11 is not going to work. Let's do 9 3/4. I just don't think I cut that correctly. Okay, all of these got to get something on this side. I can spray them with inks. These are not exactly the same. Spray them with inks, stencil them, stamp them, color them with watercolors. You can do whatever the heck you want, but I will do something with them before I put them in this book, just because I don't want purely white paper in my book. I know I'm not going to use this stack anymore, so I can get this put away. I will keep this stack close by because I may end up having to reach in here again to get more papers. And I think now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages. That gives me 14 pages that you flip through. I probably want at least 3 more pages. So I have 10, maybe more. But I know I'm not going to be using any of my 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to go back to my stash and see what 12 by 12s I have that might match. Thanks, Jana. She says, great tips. Thank you. There are 19 of you hanging out with me live. Yay! I'm so happy you guys are here. I'm just coming to the other side of the room, which is away from the camera, unfortunately, to see if I can find any other 12 by 12 papers that I can easily put in there that will match. All right, I've got some girly paper here. It's a whole nother girly stack. It's actually Farmhouse. No, that's the wrong stack. Hold on, girls. Wrong stack. We gotta be grabbing for something else. Maybe this stack? I have a little work to do to just find more papers that I might want in here. These are all very muted, soft colors. This has a lot of vibrant, but like that yellow could be really cool in here, or even that would work. Those one might be too vibrant, although like that would work for sure. This is not cardstock, you can hear it. Too vibrant. I don't want black. There's that yellow. I like that. I like that too. It's like a mustardy yellow. It's actually quite pretty. This has the same pattern repeated over and over again in all the pages, except they're just different colors as you go down the line. Like that could work. It's kind of muted. And it has a lot of distressing on it. A little more modern than the other papers. Now we're into red. I don't want red. This is like a peachy pink. That matches really well. Let's see if there's another pattern. Because I already have polka dots. I already have the plaid. I already have that one. I don't know what you call that one, but I already have that. Maybe that. That's all we have in that. So I might have to skip that color. I'm not sure I want any of those. And now this is like a green. Yeah, it's like actually matches pretty well with that. But it'll be all the same patterns. I just have to choose. Do I want more buffalo plaid in here? Do you think that matches? I didn't pick any of this paper. This one's less muted. I mean, honestly, I'm going to go between one of these two. I would go with this one because this one is so bold. So I guess we'll use this one. Okay, that gives me some more paper. That's perfect. So what I'll end up doing is cutting those down. Same like I did with the other ones. We're going to cut them down 10 by 9 3/4. And then on another time, I won't do it now just because I've run out of energy, to be truthful with you. But what we're going to do, I got to do something with the backs of these to make them all, I don't want half of my book white. So we're going to do something different with those pages. This, same thing. I have to do something with the inside of that. This is double-sided, so I don't have to worry about that. Oh, the other thing I could do, good gravy, was I thinking. This is one of the junk journal bundles that I sold on the website. And I'm just going to peek in here and see if there's any papers in here that are big enough to use and might be cool in this book. So this is a children's book page, so I don't think I would use that. I'm going to go through my junk journal stash, like all the books that I have. And what I'd be looking for is pages that are big enough that when I fold them in half, like that will fit in there real well. It's smaller, but that page will work. That's a good junk journal page. This is a page of like graph paper, like it's a grade sheet, actually 6 weeks, 7 weeks for a teacher's grade sheet, but I don't like the color of it. It's far too white bright. So I'm going to go through my junk journal bundle stash, and I'm specifically going to be looking for big pages. Here's a map. Again, for me, it's a little too vibrant, so I'm going to look for some vintagey pages that are large that I can fit in here. Because I have quite, in this bundle in particular, I have quite a few smaller pages. Which, you know, the other thing we could do is take 2 small pages and glue them to tape them together. Let's see. I'm just not feeling the vibe of all of these. That one's not bad, but I'm just not liking the vibe. So if we could attach these to each other and then fold them in half to get some unique pages. So I'll monkey with that the next time we're live with this one. Just not feeling overly committed to any of those pages. This one for sure I'll use. Yeah, we need some junky pages to make it a true junk journal. This will be one of them. Okay, we're well off, and the cover's all done and ready to go. The foundation of the cover for this book. All right, you love this pack, Kimberly. Isn't it so fun to have some really unique things to put in your books, rather than just using, I do love using decorative papers, but I also like using junky things. I really do. All right, girls, you have a blessed, beautiful day. I appreciate you all being here. Please make sure if you have not subscribed to the channel yet that you do that so you get notifications, and you know if I've just posted like a pre-recorded video or if I'm going live, you get those notifications. You guys, have a blessed day. I will see you next time.